Dear friends, colleagues, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to present to you all the result of 13 years of this work. I will briefly tell you how it got started. My mother was editor-in-chief of a corporate scientific journal, paper-based, from one of the facilities in Russia, which worked in low-level radioactive waste treatment and processing and disposal. And I joined her in 2006 as an editor of a journal. And in 2008, I created this website. So it's been 13 years it's been running. It's based on semantic technology. And I would also like to say that in 2010, I had a great pleasure of attending the first nuclear energy management school in Trieste by the IAEA, where I learned really the fascinating basics of nuclear power and its future potential. So let me start. I would like you just, if you remember about this presentation, just two lessons that nowadays in addressing nuclear communications issues and problems, in my personal opinion, we should really talk to the 8th graders and figure out what is interesting to them, what are the best ways to motivate them to learn, to study nuclear, and because this is the generation that is open to nuclear much more than the older ones. And they're really interested in science and technology, and a lot of them are interested in nuclear. And the second point of my presentation is that if you are working in nuclear communications, you should have an open system and knowledge management, because it's the key point of our internet project was to bring together society and nuclear specialists, and to show that the only way to develop nuclear is to do it together, mutually open and transparent, with respect to all social levels and strata. This website that I will present to you is a startup which studies the semantic layers of nuclear communications and nuclear data. And it does not study only scientific data, it studies the scientific, technological, business, and social information and data, and what can we extract to create a semantic, digital, structured, and educational, first and foremost, image, content, and language, which would greatly assist the public and the specialists in learning about nuclear. So what is semantics? Semantics is a branch of linguistics, and pretty much it's a branch of ontology. Ontology studies the nature of meaning itself, the nature of knowledge, and semantics studies the specific meanings of language units, of words, of phrases, of meanings. And so basically I will explain to you our technology. We have published over 120,000 of news articles, expert comments, scientific papers since 2008, and all this data has certain semantic information in it, and we have designed based on an open source system. It's a Drupal 7 content management system for basic websites. We have devised a system to turn pretty much this general data into semantically structured content. And it's our belief that such system creates a dynamic learning environment and learning experience, where you do not just only get the one piece of information. You also get the surrounding, the interrelated, interconnected content, which you can also very fast go learn about the development of different areas, and we pretty much have the 7 layers, the structure of our semantic technology is 7 layers. We have 7 databases of over 2,000 organizations, Russian and global. We also include the new startups, which are a new thing, nuclear, and there are many more coming, and we keep track of all of them. It's almost 2,000 now experts, It's 1,500 keywords, 1,000 topics, 1,000 geographical names, about 1,000 events, and 500 information sources. So this seven knowledge databases is what we use to do semantic analysis of all the public information in regards to nuclear communications and nuclear knowledge management. And the structure of our portal, of our website, is based on news. Originally, we based it on the archive of our Nuclear and Environmental Safety magazine, which was bilingual edition in 2 languages, and we covered the whole of backend in Russia and the world, mostly Russia, of course. And the IAA's library was our proud subscriber of our magazine back in 2007, 8, 9. And the website grew out of it based on the articles of the magazine, but now it's mostly news. It's about 95% news. And so we have over 100,000 news, 2,000 videos, expert comments, interviews. You can see the numbers on the slide. Article science papers. So we try to combine both the news side, which is very interesting to society. We try to bring there the analytical side, which is expert comments, interviews, and articles, because articles are problematic, they pose a problem, so they're analytical as well. And the scientific side, such as science papers, and we also have a special format, another type of publication, which is called technology, where specifically it's not a science paper, it's a presentation of technologies. And we do it for companies, for business, for our business partners who are our advertisers, so they can specifically promote just their technologies. And of course, photos, books, galleries, documents, all kinds of other additional information to make a really interesting website for the public and the specialists both. The calendar, and so we're the largest website in Russia. It's an independent startup. We have over 5,000 unique visitors daily, because daily we do an overview, aggregate a lot of news, about 30, 40, 50 news. We rewrite the headlines. We edit the content to make it really much better, which is a light edit, just to make it style appropriate with style. Additionally, we put additional photos, videos in it, and we also write our original news for our clients, and for example, from the IAA website, which has great news team and really socially oriented and socially interesting news about all kinds of new technologies, and the World Nuclear News website and others. So we're called Nuclear 2.0. You see in the right, you see the structure of our website. It's got a slider, a news line, and later all kinds of articles. So this is what is a semantic presentation of a person. For example, here you see the presentation of an expert page. We have over almost 2,000 experts. So we both include there the biography, the certain keywords, certain categorization of education, organization, all kinds of materials. You see that we attach. It's all done by hand. We do not use any machine learning or analysis yet. We would love to, but we need to take it to a much better level. Videos. So really, when you look at a person, you see a multi-layered view of his activity based on videos, photos, news, expert comments, his biography. So you really get a much better sense of a person who is actually working in nuclear, because we have some really interesting people that really make interesting statements, and we want to have this knowledge impact the society in the long run. Here you see a presentation of a company. This is all translated by Google Translate, unfortunately. It is not the best translator. There are much better ones, but it's the only one you can use really fast on the website. There are mistakes, but you see the general presentation of a company, which also has all kinds of materials, both news-based, both analytical, scientific, the videos, photos, the contacts, and everything. This is the event page, and this is an interesting thing, because you can see on some of the larger news websites, they do categorization by tags by people and by organizations, and some do now based on events. So we have started, initially since 2008, we had this opportunity to do events. And here you can see we have 27 news just based on this recent climate summit, which had really interesting points about nuclear for both the society and both the specialists. So we really try to take as much as we can from an event and make it really story-based and interesting to society and specialists. This is another interesting thing is the topic or keyword page. For example, here you see the VVR toy, the newest, the emerging Russian light water reactor, and you could see we have almost 240 materials on it, all kinds of videos, photos, news, and this reactor has not even been implemented, and it's been done over the last maybe 5-6 years. This word came out maybe even more. So you can really see the based on semantic structuring, semantic analysis of technology of public communications. You can see the evolution of certain knowledge nodes, knowledge data. You can really track in time and get all kinds of views on it. Here's a geography page. Basically, pretty much the same thing for a country. You get all kinds of news, all kinds of things. It's all automated, but each news we do, each publication we do by hand. But our system pretty much puts it all together automatically. And here we come to how we show a standard publication semantically. So we try to have large photos, big photos. We try to put videos in it, additional images to make it more modern, youth-oriented. Because the youth is into videos, into photos, images. They need this additional content to make it interesting. Just plain text is very difficult to read. And you see the large news, and then in the right column you see these green tags, these green semantic icons. It's like iconic semantic language, which we designed, and it helps to not just read the news, but to get the overall feeling of its content, of its most important things, and to make it learning about nuclear easier for newcomers, because a big problem is that we want to get new people on board for nuclear, and this educational system for both specialists and the public is an easy way to learn about nuclear very fast, because like I said, we have four areas of information. We have scientific information, we have technological information, we have business information, and we have social information. And social is all kinds of news. It's sports, it's awards, it's competition, it's youth, everything nuclear. So it's not just pure science and technology, or it's all of it. Here you see the example of in the right column where you see, or on a mobile screen, in the right column how you see our tags, icons, or semantic nodes. You see the amount of materials you have in each node. So we have logotypes, pictures. We have a unique style to have on a white background to make people look more professional, more open to society. Here you see the Amanda Yukiya, who is a very great leader of IAEAs, and of course the new Rafael Grossi. And this has all been accumulated over the 13 years of our work. Later, this is a poor translation in English of our taxonomy tree just by topics, because we have 1,000 topics and about 2,000 keywords, and these are different things. Topics are general areas of interest, which do not have any specific names, just general areas of expertise of activities, and keywords are specific technology names, specific projects, and we bring them apart. And we have a big taxonomy tree, which I spend a lot of time working on for our own website, but it's hardly used, so perhaps it takes a lot of time to work on it, to update it constantly, and perhaps we will maybe unite keywords and topics together and not worry about creating this beautiful taxonomy tree. This is our semantic keyword library, an example of the top 20. I don't know how many there are. Top 25. The icons. This is the best I could use. I used the public icons. I fixed some of them, edited. Of course, because we have a very low budget, we don't have very much money. This is always done based on open source technology and the public information. But this is how we try to add to pure science and pure text this semantic iconic language to make it more interrelated, interconnected, to have the visual side of addressing public and specialists, to assist them in learning about nuclear, about some of the interesting areas. And from editing this semantic side, I would say that now when we started doing just the topics, it was just one series of topics. And over the time we made them better, improved them, brought them together in categories based on our content, and now they are maybe quite another thing, better. This is the databases of our people, experts, organizations, and events, which all have their amount of materials in them. You see, it's a global database of pretty much all the presidents, because the president's statements have an impact on our industry. So we have our president of pretty much all presidents. We have, of course, the Russian leaders, we have many Russian specialists, and we try to update as much as I can with foreign specialists, because they're all very interesting to our audience. The organizations, as you see, the IAEA has over 4,000 publications, and I have made a specific point to try as much to regularly translate the IAEA news, because in Russia only the maybe very large news agencies sometimes do translate IAEA's news based on like internationally relevant content on international security. But the website has a lot of content, and you have the Russian version of some of the news. So, and I really like to applaud the news team of the IAEA to have such great socially oriented, socially interesting news, not just on nuclear, but all kinds of radiation technologies and medicine, and it's really fascinating news. And the events. Of course, on Fukushima, we wrote a lot of information, translated a lot of information, and all the Atom Expos. And those are you see the top events. But overall, there are 1,000 events over, and each of them have a different amount of materials. Here you see the idea of our semantic scientific portal, Nuclear 2.0. For 10 years, the first original 10 years, we called it the Russian Nuclear Community Portal. We tried to make something similar to the American Nuclear Society, where they have a great news website, and they've updated it now. It's even become even better. And we tried to make it for Russia. As a startup, we offer just unfortunately very few private companies advertisement opportunities, and they do, and so we present to them some kind of a platform, a knowledge exchange, communication platform for both knowledge management and public engagement, where they can openly present their business information, not just government oriented, because as you know, Rosatom is a government corporation, and now it's more of a corporation than anything else. And so we do some kind of a public service to really bring together the regulator, of course the National Atomic Organization, Rosatom, the government bodies, the environmental ministry, all kinds of government, the lawmakers, the politicians, then the educational side, because we have huge now interest in nuclear education. We have many universities, and of course the Russian main MFE becoming more active, so we bring education in there. Then of course we do monitoring of just the general news that come out on nuclear, and a lot of it is international news about Fukushima, and of course all kinds of new technologies like SMRs, micro reactors. And just today I did a news item about Russia's newest submarine stationary reactor, underwater reactor for Arctic exploration, which we put stationary under Arctic ice to take out carbohydrates. So it's newest. So we try to be scientific and relevant and interesting. and it's open community. It's a lot of it is youth oriented. Majority of our readers are young people, and it's digital media. And we're really trying to bring, and yes, and I forgot to say, and we try to bring into the business side, because when the government is so strong as it is in Russia, we try to support the few existing business companies as much as we can, try to contact them, have them write news for us, but it's a very difficult process because it takes a new outlook to nuclear communications for the little older generations, and we've had some progress. And we also like to say this brand, the Nuclear 2.0, we have changed this name 3 years ago in 2018 when we turned 10 years to make it more youth oriented and to really show the whole new area of nuclear technologies and nuclear impact and nuclear development that is now opening up thanks to a lot of government investments in Russia, and so try to really challenge and show a bigger view of nuclear through this name, and so you see it's like environmentally conscious, environmentally oriented, and we do a lot on environment, a lot of news. So thank you for your attention. I would like to receive any kind of feedback, suggestions. I know IAEA is very involved in semantic technologies. You guys did a wonderful publication on semantic potential for nuclear, and here you see a public case of public outreach and professional outreach. And really we have 2 key points about our project. First is to bring together society and professionals on one platform together, which have one platform, open platform, where they can communicate, they can write comments, and really bring nuclear to develop together with specialists and the society. Not have this division, but really make turn public into specialists. So that's our idea. And second idea is to use the existing information and make it into semantically rich, enhanced educational teaching, dynamic education. So on a website you can quickly click on different tags, different semantics, and learn fast. So if you have any questions, I'd like to answer them, and I'm very happy to do so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Pavel. If there are any questions, to quote you, if there are any questions, please raise your hand and let us know.
There's a question in chat. Pavel, you can read it. Could you give a breakdown of your portal's visitors and what are the impacts on nuclear power acceptance?
I can do our side, the front end side, what we see. Like I said, we have in our media kit, we have studied, and it's quite interesting with new media technologies, with Google Analytics and Yandex Analytics, to see who's actually reading the website. Also, I would like to say that each publication has the amount of views attached to it, so you can really see how many times each article, each 120,000 articles been read. So it's completely open, it's completely public. It's an open startup for transparency and cross communication, and pretty much it's mostly young people. I would say about half is people 35 and younger, because we have a very active Telegram, very active YouTube, a very active Twitter, Facebook group. We have a biggest in Russia Facebook group on nuclear and radiation technologies. And so the young are all about learning about it. They're interested because we present nuclear without any politics, without any corporate style, just as it is. We try to stay neutral and scientific based, and have really expand the outlook on this global nuclear. And I can see who is doing the reposts of our articles, not in all services, but in some. A lot of it are people who are professionals, but some are just fans of nuclear. Most of it are men. I would say about 66%, 2/3 are men. Well, actually even more, but more women has been reading it. Yes, it's interesting to see who is actually using this data and what is their response. The majority, yes, we have it in our MEDIC, the age, the country distribution. Of course, in Russia and Belarus and Kazakhstan, Ukraine, USA are the majority of our readers. But what is more interesting is the engagement on social media in comments, how people put likes and reposts on our content, because we promote our best content in our social networks. And the society's response to that, and some of the publications which get a lot of views is interesting. But this is and like I said, we have over 5,000 unique visitors per day. And in Russia, it's #1 website for nuclear, and because no other website actually publishes. We openly see, you can see the trackers, the visitor, two separate visitor trackers on the bottom of our website. No one else is doing it, but we do. But overall, the reaction on public acceptance, it is difficult to say, because all people are so unique and different. I know one thing about engaging the environmentalists. I regularly go on radio shows with anti-nuclear specialists who are quite alarming anti-nuclear people, and they promote all kinds of fear agenda, and I just give links. I try to stay neutral and just provide open scientific information on my website, and let the audience do their own choice, the studies. Really, our point is to teach people how to learn about nuclear, to make nuclear interesting in learning. And if they can start learning about nuclear, they can figure out their own solutions. And overall, thanks to Rosatom's huge efforts in engaging all kinds of new technologies and exports and research, so they produce interesting content based on their news, and it creates some social interest. So Rosatom is also doing quite a good job in it. If any more questions? Unfortunately, I cannot see the because this new system is. I clicked on so many things and I cannot even see how to bring back the normal screen. But yes. But if there are
yeah, it's okay. And there is a question from John de Gerbois.
Yes, thank you. And Mr. Yakovlev, a very interesting presentation. So commend your efforts there. And I think there's perhaps some interesting application of this approach within the context of the discussion in the last 2 days. We've talked about further engaging our international university community in research, and certainly in Canada, my organization, Canada Owners Group, we've been exploring with the Unini University Network how to create a portal, a hub that is information exchange, and I think we can learn a lot from what you've done here. Obviously, this is a very successful and engaging platform. And maybe in the context of this meeting, there's an even wider picture here that basically this technology and the approach you've taken here could be very useful to help industry and governments and national labs and existing programs capture and mobilize information. We have tremendous resources in the nuclear community internationally, and to a large degree we don't even know what we have. And a platform like this really helps to collect the information, to share, create awareness, and I think the social engagement side of this is just tremendous. So commend your efforts. It's really nice to see semantic technology being applied. And I think there's something here we need to pay attention to and think about how it can be used in the context of what we're trying to do in Impro and moving technology, forward towards the future, engaging society in our research. So thank you, very interesting.
Thank you. I would also like to say that it really comes down to education. Whether you can make your story as a journalist, because I've edited thousands of scientific articles, and it's really about making it interesting for society to learn about nuclear. So pretty much it all comes down to education, and more of it dynamic education, not just by you learned about one thing and forgot about it. It's like interconnected, dynamic, environmentally ecosystem education.
Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure I saw another hand raised, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah, I also saw it as Lazareva, but probably...
Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. This is the last day, and I think it's better to ask directly any questions that you may have.
Exactly. But this, okay, while people are considering to ask questions, just a couple of comments. This taxonomy, really, more than 1,000 entities, it's really knowledge asset which could be shared with community and reused. Yeah, this is a good thing. I don't know, did you consider sharing this, expose the taxonomy according to semantic web standards, or you are using this only for your internal purposes?
Well, this is the structuring of a media, so it's digital media, and we use it as a popularization, educational media approach just on our website. And here you see the working of semantics. But the society, the open website, you just see the icons and you see it all put together. And yes, I've actually thought about semantic analysis of scientific journalism, taking it further, and perhaps providing, because we now have the Drupal 7 website and platform, the version of our content management system. And now the newest one is Drupal 9, and this one is no longer supported. So we're looking to find the funds to update our system. And in Drupal 9, there is much more really cool things you could do on websites, for semantic websites. And yes, I've thought about it, and even more, I've thought about devising even a special format, a semantic format. I called it Open Government format, and it's for African countries where they produce, for example, intergovernmental content. And when they produce intergovernmental content, like just take news, or they also provide systematically a systematic semantic breakdown of it together. So it's this format which you could really, if there's a lot of it, you could throw into large databases, into search engines, and it would not just be just simple text, but it will also be semantically rich text done by hand, because it has to be done by hand. It cannot be done on a computer. But the computer can do all the rest, the machine learning, the everything else, it can do all kinds of things. But the original, it's pretty much scientific journalism. The original scientific journalism, it has to be done by hand, because the human needs to understand what is semantically important in this item. And in the future, if you saw like movies about the future, where people just download some kind of files, which present some kind of value to their future society. It's pretty much what we're talking about. We're talking about maybe it will be a semantically rich data and file, which could be the new format of scientific communications in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Christina? Yes.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I just entered on the website, our presenter discussing on it, and it's a huge amount of information and in different form. Really, it is very interesting. It's just a comment and a lot of information to be digested. Really, I was impressed.
Thank you.
Very well done job. And huge effort to do something like this.
Thank you.
Thank you.